Here.
Do I hear a motion to approve those as presented?
So moved.
Kevin makes a motion. A second, please.
Second.
Ed seconds that motion. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record show it passes unanimously. Now, the TLO officer report. Terry?
Good morning.
Morning.
I have nothing to report. ARB is not in session, so there's no hearing information. And most of my phone calls and emails have been about, where's my tax bill and how do I pay it? So that's all been forwarded to the tax office, and so far, everybody's happy.
Good. Any questions for Terry?
Nope.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next item on the agenda is number 8, discussion or action to approve year-end budget line item transfers. Irma, this is your ballot.
Yes. Good morning.
Drop the mic closer to you.
Oh, yes. Okay. Alrighty, good morning. So this is just to ask for the board to approve the transfers within the line items and so we can put money where the overages are and the overruns. So this is where we started the budget with on 2024. And this is the forecast that we've done as of now for the end of the month, the end of the year. And this is what we're remaining with the budget. I know that for the revenue on the interest income, we started off the year with a bit of a high interest rate, so we were able to get some funds there. So we're remaining the budget with 136,261 from that. We also we still have some remaining budget for the personnel services since we have had fluctuation in the personnel. So we're still hiring. We just hired a few other appraisers. And then also we still have some budget there for the supplies and operating expenses. We do have, I know that we have a bigger, budget there for the professional services, but that's for the future elections too. That was money that was left over from the election. So we would like to put that for the future elections as well. So, and also we have a remaining budget for the litigation fund, which will also be put back to the litigation fund. So we're just asking for the board to approve this transfer so we can put the money where it needs to be for the overages that we have on the variance side. On some things we did go over because we put more money onto like professional services and personnel services and the litigation. And so that's what we're asking the board to approve today.
But the bottom line is we were overall, the surplus was over $1 million.
That's an estimate, yes.
Yes.
That's an estimate.
Does
So-
anyone have any questions for Irma? Seeing none.
Let me get just quick questions. Do we have a surplus?
Kevin, I can't hear you.
So since we have a surplus, what does that obligate us to do with that surplus money?
So it's an estimate of the surplus, but with that, it's included the litigation fund and also the future election money.
Okay.
So that putting back, it would give us less.
Yeah, because I think the election wasn't budgeted, correct? Because it was kind of thrown on us
Right,
in the middle of the year.
right.
So,
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
Anything else for Irma? Seeing none, at this time I'll entertain a motion to approve the line item transfers.
Make motion.
Devin makes that motion. May I have a second, please?
Second.
John seconds that motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record show it passes unanimously. Thank you so much, Evelyn.
You're welcome.
Now, next item on the agenda is number 9, discussion or action related to GASB 54 designation of the projected year-end 2024 fund balance. Again, Evelyn.
That is also me. So this is our GASB 54 fund balance designation that we're asking the board to approve. So the non-spendable, of course, well, I've put the 2023 audited numbers that was provided to the board in August of this year. So with that said, I put the non-spendable for $148,426 for the audit that we have coming up. So that's going to remain. And then the committed, of course, is something that we have to come to the board to ask for money. And the assigned, well, that's what you guys give us permission to use at I guess, emergency needs. So that we have the building maintenance for $100,000 that we had for provided in the GASB 54 in August. And then we have the capital acquisitions improvement for $630,893 that was also included in the audited GASB that was provided to you in August. And then the legal contingency litigation fund, which was also audited, and it was $919,733. And then the cash flow operating reserve, that was $596,363, coming out to $2.2 million. And that was also provided in August in your GASB 54. Assigned at that time was the HVAC replacement for $100,000 and the health insurance overruns for $93,970. Also the replacement of vehicles, since we did not use that fund for the vehicles, we used it for pipes, the replacement for the building. Also the third floor remodel, that was also assigned in the GASB 54 per August. And the homestead exemption audit, that was $97,000, and that also brings us to $995,360 with a total fund balance of $3.3 million, which was provided in the audited GASB in August. For our estimated ask is this for the estimated activities, where we will remain with the $148,000 for the audit, since it seems to have increased per last audit. And also we are remaining with the building maintenance for $100,000 and the capital acquisition also for $630,893. For the legal contingency, like I said in my previous item, there was a remaining of $175,569, which will go back to the litigation fund. And then, our $500,000 24 budgeted litigation money would also, all that together with the 919 will bring us to the $1.595,302. From there, we're moving $500,000 from the cash flow to the litigation fund, and there was a residual, so we have the remaining funds of $47,496, which we're adding to what our balance was, and so we have $143,832, which brings us to 2.470 and 27. Now we are asking to be assigned again the $100,000 for the HVAC replacement, which we need. We don't ever know when it's going to go out. Also, we've increased the health insurance overrun, since we're partially self-funded and there's been more claims, so we're asking to be assigned the $293,970.
Let me ask you on the health
Yes,
Insurance overruns? What does that entail?
it's for claims that we have,
Strictly only for claims?
for claims,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
And then also, again, the 118,390, since we haven't replaced the vehicles, we used that money to replace pipes in the building, I believe last year or this year. And then we also are still asking for the 586,000. We haven't concluded any quotes yet. We're still getting quotes on that, so. And then, 100,000 for the home exemption audit, because, I know per December of last year, it was not to exceed 100,000, and our accrued invoice has come in, and it's about 100,000. So that's why we're asking to be assigned that amount. And like I said, this is an estimate of a surplus. It's not all 1 million, so.
When do you think you'd have the hard numbers?
Once the audit comes out,
Which is
and I believe it was in like
March?
March or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Does anyone have any questions for you, Demond?
On the health insurance, are we fully self-insured?
We're partially
And at
self-funded.
what point, I mean, a $200,000 increase seems like a lot.
Well, I mean, there's been more claims as well.
At what point does the insurance kick in?
It kicks in, I mean, they pay 50%, the employees, so we have to pick up the rest.
But then are you insured? Is there a max do we have an insurance policy?
We do have an insurance policy.
And what's the max? I mean, that just seems like a big increase from one year to the next.
It's been going
It's
up.
been
I can
going
tell you
up.
from the county, it has to do with large claims. When they come through, there's a stopgap that comes through. And so once it hits that stopgap on the insurance, then the appraisal district has to kick in and pay those additional amounts. And that's what the self-insurance piece of that is.
Okay, that's,
And I've been seeing trends like that with other companies too, with the culture of most employees not being very healthy. And I was also wondering, because I don't know about like quotes, there's some companies that are having trouble even getting quotes because they don't even want to quote them if they have, oh, your employee population is so sick that sometimes, I don't know how that happened here. But anyway, yeah,
And
that's
that's
a
where the
trend.
self-insurance,
It's a trend
and that's where the
that's
self-insurance
unfortunate.
piece comes in, and that's what those funds are for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know if that's what happened here.
And we're
but
also
can-
negotiating to see if our premium can remain the same as well.
So do you,
It's probably gonna go up as well.
do you know if that's what happened here with, I don't know if you haven't been here that long.
No, I haven't.
But like whenever, it gets requoted every year, sometimes, if you have a broker doing that insurance for you, I don't know.
Well, I know
How
that
that
we
go?
were in discussions and we're trying to renegotiate so we can remain at the same premium cost. However, that might not happen.
Right.
So we're still, at the end of the month, we'll know
Okay.
if that negotiation does go through.
Any other questions for Irma? Thank you, Irma. Now, at this time, we can either, as you all can see, we can either affirm the prior designation plan, like you see in front of you, or we can alter it. Do you need a motion to that effect?
Yes. Yes, we need a motion to that effect.
So at this stage, I would ask any board member if they have any questions, and if not, I'll go ahead and accept a motion to reaffirm our prior designation plan.
I'll make the motion for the prior designation.
Kevin makes that motion. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Devin seconds that motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record show it passes unanimously. Thank you very much, folks. And thank you, Irma. Now, we're going to go into item number 10. Discussion or action related to late quarterly payments and waiving entity penalties and interest pursuant to tax code section 6.06. Irma.
Yes, so that's also me. And we're asking for the penalty to be waived for the Nueces County Emergency Number 1. They're regularly on time. However, apparently there was an issue with the mail. Bless you. There was an issue with the mail service, and their payment did not get here in time. So Mr. Garza, the accountant, is asking for that penalty to be waived. I did reach out to him and we did talk. So he said that it was a mail issue. He's having to sign for all his certified mail now because he's had issues in the past.
Bear with me for just 1 second. If you look on behind your tab 10, you'll see what Irma's talking about. And so it was received a few days late is what it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Are we
And
going by postmarks on this, or are we going by receipt date?
we're going by postmark.
So it's postmarked on the 5th.
Yeah.
So it was postmarked late.
Yes. So we're asking the board to waive the penalty.
So this was one check, not multiple?
have a
No, just
question.
one,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
And they've never had any penalties in the past. So that's why Mr. Garza is asking if, the board will waive this penalty.
I have a question,
Gabby?
Yeah.
Chair. I just remember one day late before, I don't think we issued a penalty, but one day late before. Does anyone remember?
I remember somebody being late, but I don't remember
I don't
who
think it was them.
I don't know if it was them either, that's why I'm asking, so, yeah.
Somebody was late a while
Yeah,
back. I
it
don't
was one of the other entities from the past. I think it was one of the school districts where somebody got, Flower Bluff
I
was the one.
think it was Flower Bluff, Gabby.
Yeah.
The lady
Okay,
had gotten
thanks.
sick or something like that.
Yeah.
And because of that, it created a default
Yeah.
from them.
I mean, I'm okay with waiving the penalty because ultimately it's taxpayer
me
funds
too.
anyway, so.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
it's, taxpayers have to eat that if we don't waive it, so I don't see any
Yeah.
point in that. So,
So at
I'll
this
make a
time-
motion to waive.
I second.
Second,
Thank
Any
you.
further discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record show it passes unanimously. Thank you for your time, Irma.
Thank you.
Now, we're going to go to item number 11, the discussion on Board of Directors' monthly meeting schedule. And with that, I'll turn it over to Ronnie, please.
Good morning. No, just to let y'all know, sometimes during the year, we might not have enough agenda items to put on the agenda. And I know that most of y'all have a job other than just to come to our Board of Directors meeting. And many times when this happens, I'd rather we have a good agenda rather than a 10 or 15-minute agenda for you to come just for that. And that's why sometimes during the year, we will not have a meeting. In the past, it's been, past years, we've been averaging maybe 2 meetings that we don't have for those reasons. Other than that, we normally have our meetings. We can either move them back a week or move them back or forward a week to accommodate the number of people that we need for a quorum. But the main reason that we might not have a meeting is because we might not have enough information or enough items for an agenda. That's the reason why.
Who makes that decision?
I do. And then I will be talking to the chairman to make sure that it's permissible for us to do this or not. If not, we can go ahead and have the meeting, but, for 15 or 20 minutes at most.
In the past, Ed, it has been probably 2 items, which we were not important enough to have all of us show up for 15 minutes. So we could,
But you're involved in that
oh,
discussion?
yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
that's all I want to know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, normally when I make these type of decisions, it's a reference also to the chairman before I bless it.
We have videos from my office, just in case, because Ronnie's word is, you know how it is, Ed. But anyway, no, but we'll postpone a meeting for the following month.
Maybe, suggestion,
Mhm.
going forward, if there isn't enough agenda items and we don't have an official meeting, maybe we could use that time to maybe send out an email and say, hey, do you want to come anyway? Because it was on your calendar and we could do some training like we talked about.
That would be up to the new
Suggestion.
board.
Yeah.
Okay, now, anything else on that subject?
I think statute requires at least once a quarter.
I can't hear you.
Statute requires at least once a quarter to have
Oh,
a meeting.
Right,
So as long as we have one every 3 months.
and we
that's-
do have that, so
that's
that's
required,
never an
yeah.
issue. Okay, thank you, Brownie.
You're welcome.
Next item on the agenda will be Letty, which is number 12, discussion on procurement of professional appraisal services to include proposed timeline. Letty?
Okay, so if you go to tab 12, here is a proposed timeline for the RFQ that was requested for the outside appraiser, the professional services. So here we'll start, we'll start the process in February and then create the committee, bring it to the board in February, and then, start the documentation and put out a notice in March, and then once that's received and then the committee will go over the RFQ and then the responses, and so it just goes down the line until we bring it back in June to get it approved.
I have a question. Could this not start in January instead? Because I'm looking at normally an RFQ is put out for usually at least 30 days.
Well, we have it, it's usually, I think we have it here for 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think that's sufficient. I think we ought to at least have it out for 30 days. So we've already more or less taken action to go out for RFQ. So I think we probably ought to bump this up to January and get going on that, and so we can have the RFQ out a little longer to make sure we're capturing everybody who's potentially available for that. So we can go do a full 30 days before the and just kind of bump that whole guideline up, because there's a lot of information that needs to be transferred and obtained if we go with the new company. So I think if we can bump this up a whole month, that would be ideal.
Whatever y'all think. I mean,
Will we be able to see the RFQ before it's sent out?
we do post all RFQs and RFPs on our website under
But I mean,
procurement.
before it's posted,
Oh, before?
the board.
I don't see why not. I mean, we can send y'all a copy.
I'd feel more comfortable with that.
Okay,
Okay.
so would you, so before it's posted, we can send it to everyone?
And so by bumping that up to January, just moving everything back, forward a month, to January versus
I think that's an
February.
excellent idea, Kevin.
Because we've already taken action to do that,
Right.
so,
Gives the board more time to disseminate the information.
or
I
have
don't know
it,
that we have specific action. I know it was talked
It was a
about and all
directive.
that, so we probably do need to bring it to the board in January. I
Yeah.
don't know that there's enough time between right now and our next board meeting to get an RFQ prepared in order to have that before the board approves as to go out for RFQ.
but if we did it in January, we could finalize our document in February. That moves everything up a month, because this is starting the process in February. I'd rather start it in January.
Well, we can start the process.
Would y'all see any issues with that?
No, not
Okay,
starting the
yeah.
process. No,
Yeah,
not
why
at all.
don't we just bump this whole
Yeah.
calendar up 1 month?
We can start the process in January, but by the January meeting, I don't know if the RFQ will be
Well,
totally
that's not,
complete.
this
Yeah.
doesn't say it'd be ready in January. This
Yeah,
says it'd be done,
starts
it'd be ready
working.
in March.
Yeah.
So we start the process in January,
but still be ready
then
in
March would be done in February.
Right.
Everything's up 1 month.
Okay.
That works.
Okay.
So would you post it in February and then just leave from April on? That way it would open up that window now for 5-6 weeks?
Yeah, because by the time if we have our meeting in the middle of April, they'll still
Yeah,
give us
I think
the
that
time,
works.
and that way that RFQ's out there, because
It just gives everyone more time, that's.
we want
very
to give
good.
these companies a chance. It's not easy to respond to an RFQ, and we want to make sure we give them sufficient time to do it, because, this is something we got to make sure we have I's dotted, T's crossed, and know exactly who and what we're getting and what we are and what we're not.
And just creating the RQ too, and
Yeah,
make sure that we,
it's very time consuming.
yeah, that we have everything in place.
That should not be a problem. Also, we can have a special meeting
Yeah,
other than our normal board meeting.
yeah, and I think, and that may,
When that comes to that.
yeah, and that probably would be advisable.
Okay.
Any other questions for Letty?
No, we'll just move everything up a month.
Great, thank you, ma'am. Now, item number 13, discussion or receipt of Texas Comptroller's compliance notice related to 22-23 MAP study review. Letty?
Okay. So, the statute requires that we have a MAPS review, which is a methods and assistant program. So, the purpose is to make sure that the appraisal district is meeting all the requirements, statutory and appraisal requirements, right? And so some of the things that they review are the governance, the taxpayers' assistance, the operation procedures, appraisal standards, procedures, and methodology. So if you look at your there's also a little pamphlet that I gave everybody that tells you about the whole methods and assistance program, which is, we call it the MAPS program. So every 2 years, half the counties go through this review, and then the other half of the counties go through it also. So we finally got the results from our 22-23 MAPS review, and we met all the requirements. So this is just a letter from the comptroller, to the board, giving the results.
That we're doing good.
Yeah.
That's what the letter says. And there was a lot of, I know that management and staff put a lot of effort into this, and because I was being updated on this as we were trolling the waters, and there was a lot of work involved. And I congratulate management and staff on this wonderful report. Thank you, Letty.
Yes. And we are going through our new review right now. They just started.
Great. Okay. All right, next item on the, I'm sorry.
If we can get a motion to receive the letter into the record.
Okay. May I have a motion to receive the comptroller letter and put it in our records?
I'll make a motion.
Susie makes that motion. Second, please.
Second.
Who's that? John? John seconds that motion. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record show it passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies. Now, next item on the agenda is Irma, the discussion or action related to the auction of 4 vehicles. Irma?
Yes, hi. So we would like to ask the board to approve these vehicles for auction. The 2008 Ford is not operational, is not working, they cannot use that. And then the other 3 2010s have had frequent mechanical issues that have been fixed frequently. So for that being said, we would like for the board to approve these vehicles for auction.
So moved.
I'm just curious, where are they auctioned at?
Here.
No.
Here,
On
okay.
on what site?
Website.
Surplus.
A surplus, public surplus.
Mhm.
Kevin makes that, and let me tell you, those vehicles
They're
are
old.
yesterday's news. Down there, sad shit.
14 years
But
old.
anyway, Kevin makes that motion. Is there a second?
No, I'll second.
Deanne seconds that motion. Any further discussion?
Thank you.
All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Let the record show it passes unanimously. Thank you very much, folks. Now, at this time, it'll be item number 15, executive session. Public notice is given that the Board of Directors may elect to go into executive session anytime during the meeting to discuss matters listed anywhere on the agenda when authorized by the Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. Should the Board of Directors elect to go into executive session, the section or sections of the Open Meetings Act authorizing the executive session will be publicly announced by the presiding officer. Upon completion of executive session, the Board of Directors may take such action as appropriate in open session. Letter A, consult with legal counsel on legal matters related to Appraisal Review Board, ARB appointments. With that, we'll go into executive session. 9:12? No,
9:32.
9:32.
He goes Nueces.
I'm still trying to, I got too many.
Patricio, he goes down to the valley, like, he goes some of the most unhealthy,
Where do you
United States.
Okay.
Drive through.
If I could have your attention, please. We're going back into open session because of an error by, it didn't get proofread by Ronnie Canales. So the chapter is 551.071 according to our attorneys. So anyway, that being said, we will not go into executive session. Kev, can you get the door, please?
Yeah.
Ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. The open meeting is now in order, and we are going to appoint the ARB members, and we're seeking the, discussion or action related to executive session.
Well, and actually, we can take care of it in 17, if you want to read 17, because that's going to be...
Okay, well then we'll go to item number 17. I just assumed that would be covered under 16 as well. So, at this point, we're going to go into item 17, which is the appointment of ARB and the auxiliary members. At this point, I'll go ahead and take some names from the board.
So are we doing nominations or are we doing motions here?
You can nominate, and then, remember, we need our elected appraiser review board, our elected board of directors. Both of them have got to agree on who we recommended. Okay, so,
I'll nominate the 4 members seeking reappointment, and Sylvia Benavides is the 5th regular appointment for the
Okay.
ARB.
Kevin has nominated the 4 current serving members on the ARB and has added Sylvia Benavides' name as the 5th member for the ARB. I'll accept a motion to that effect if it so moves. I'd like to have it from one of you two fellows.
Yep, I'll second.
John makes a motion, or Kevin makes a motion rather, and John seconds it. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Sylvia Benavides is now the new ARB member, joining Shelley Connell, Eugenia de la Cruz Rodriguez, Cindra Evans, and Karen Green. Okay, next item on the agenda is going to be the auxiliary board members. And here, we have 3 that are currently serving and wish to continue to serve. That's Donna Gadberry, Christy Kirchhoff, and Janet Lumley. In front of you also, you will find a list of new applicants that are available for auxiliary members. With that, I'll go ahead and take some names. Remember, at this point, we have to appoint 6 members to the auxiliary board. Does anyone have any names?
I would nominate the 3 auxiliary members who are seeking reappointment.
I'm sorry, Deanna, what did you say?
Did you do that? The 3 auxiliary members who are seeking reappointment?
Yes,
I would
ma'am.
nominate those.
Okay,
So Donna Gadberry, Christy Kirchhoff, and Janet Lumley. Did you
Yes.
already do that?
No.
Okay.
yes. Okay, Deanna makes a motion to accept the 3. Ed seconds that motion. Let the record, is there any further discussion? Let the record show that it passes unanimously. So now we limit the discussion to 6 new appointees for the auxiliary board members. And at this time, I'll go ahead and take names for the 6 appointees. Board? I nominate Karen Harvey.
Okay.
That's one name.
Heidi Klock.
That's one. And then we have to approve all of these as presented. So Karen is one. How about anybody else, folks?
Yeah, because we need another.
Heidi Klock. So we're gonna do all 6 at once?
Yes.
Just to clarify, okay.
Yes.
Heidi?
Did you say we needed 3 more total?
No, we have 5 more.
6 total, so we have the 3 that,
We have the 3 that are there, and
Okay.
I just nominated Karen,
okay,
and there's 5 more to nominate.
gotcha, okay.
Okay?
Oh, sorry, I'll nominate Heidi Klock.
Deanna nominates Heidi. Does anyone else have any other nominations? Susie?
I'm sorry, I just have a question. The bottom box, this bottom box,
Well, we also have,
the,
we have
those are
them
the,
here as
yeah,
well.
yeah, but are they,
Y'all
No,
have already
no.
approved those.
Their terms are,
We approved
they're,
those when
But those
Deanna
are-
made that motion, and we assigned Sylvia to the permanent.
no, I got Sylvia,
They
Okay.
don't end till
and I
next
hear
December.
Donna was already, but Maria and Sandra Diaz,
They don't end until December 2025.
Right.
okay,
yeah, we don't have to,
Okay.
they're on already.
got it.
Okay, some more names we have so far, Heidi and Karen Howery. Anybody else? We need 4 more names.
William Schmidt,
I'm sorry?
William Schmidt, number 9.
Roseanne?
William,
William.
Oh,
number
okay.
9.
William Schmidt?
Yes.
Okay. Now we need 3 more, folks. I'll go ahead and nominate number 11, June, because the last name is so nice and long. So I'll go ahead and nominate June Sarah Poneyetis. That's number 4. How about number 5?
Martha Veit. Number 10.
Martha Bythe,
Yeah, I think.
okay. That's number 5. How about number 6, folks?
How many we need, 6?
We need, yeah.
just
We
need one
need
more.
6, yes, sir.
Catherine Bracken, just because she's at the top of the
Alright.
alphabet.
Catherine. He's good as anything, John. So
Exactly.
Catherine is our 6th nomination, so let me repeat these names to you all. For the auxiliary board, we have Catherine Bracken, Heidi Cluck, Karen Howery, William Schmidt, Martha Bythe, and June. Is there any other nominations? Can I have a motion to accept their names as presented?
So move.
Kevin makes that motion.
Second.
Ed seconds that motion. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Let the record show that the new appointments have been approved. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you for your patience, board.
And Chair, if we can just clarify that all of these appointments are for January 1st, 2025 through December 31st of 2026.
That's right. It's a 2-year appointment from January 1, 25 to December 31st, 26.
Except the last 2.
Except for the 2 auxiliaries, which would be a 1-year appointment. And so I don't know if those would be the last 2 that y'all mentioned. I think y'all had Catherine and June. Are those the 2 appointments
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
1 year?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, too, Jerry,
And
Just-
then that's the next one.
part of the question was too that on the pay scale for the ARB members, your first term ARB member, normal member, it's 170 per day. A 2-term member is 180 per day. Your 3rd term member is $190 per day. Your chairman will get 210 per day. Those are your salaries, and it's 8 per day for each of those members. Okay?
Any other questions?
Yes, so we still have, part of that item is since Sylvia Benavides was appointed to the regular board, now her position is vacant, so we do have one more
Oh, that's right.
auxiliary.
I'm sorry. And Belinda
fill.
said that. So we need to fill Sylvia Benavides' vacancy. So with that, let's go ahead and go back to the new applicants. And I'll accept one more nomination to replace Sylvia Benavides' nomination since she got put on the ARB.
I'll nominate Leonard Montes.
Kevin nominates Leonard Montez. Is that okay with everybody?
Second.
A second from John. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And, I'm sorry, and the term would be a 1-year term, because it's the unexpired term of
Yeah, Sylvia had a
so-
1-year term left, so that'll be the term for Leonard.
Correct.
So that goes, that's automatic.
Well, it's gonna be outlined in the order that,
Okay.
right, that we'll
All
have
right.
you sign.
And that's
So
what's it up
we
there.
have a motion on the floor. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record show that Leonard got approved as an auxiliary member. Okay, thank you for your patience, folks. Okay, next item on the agenda. Number 18, discussion or action to select an ARB chairman and secretary for the year 2025. Now, understand that we only have one person who wants to be the chairman and one person who wants to be the secretary. So that makes it fairly simple, even for you, John. And so, so with that, let's go ahead and accept the nominate, a motion to approve these two as presented to us. John makes that motion?
And just for the record, the chairman, it would be Lee Tiller, and the secretary would be Cindra Evans, and that, they're currently in those positions.
Oh, okay, all right. And John made a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Kevin seconds it. Any further discussion? All in favor vote aye. Opposed? Let the record show it passes unanimously. Thank you very much, folks, and thank you for your patience. Now, next item on the agenda is the Chief Appraiser's Report, and with this, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Ronnie.
Okay.
Oh, hold on, Ronnie. Before, these go back to the attorneys.
Well, if y'all just leave them in your spots, we'll pick them up at the end of the meeting.
Okay,
The
Ronnie.
folder? Okay. Let me give you an update on our camera system. We'll make a decision on that for next month's meeting in January. The new board of directors will have a say on that. And then as far as the board of directors, the incoming board members that are coming on board are the 5 new members. It's going to be Devin, Caitlin, Deanne, Gabby, and Susie. Okay? Those are the incoming members for January 1st of '25. We'll go back to 9-member board with our 3 elected, which are Mr. Cudd, Mr. Bennett, and Mr. McGill. And of course, we also have Kevin as another voting member. So that'll give us a total of 9 board members, going back to 9, like we used to have in the prior months. As far as the question that was brought up last month was for the new board member, or for the new board coming in January, a request was made for looking for an outside person, individual, or a firm to come in and brief and go over the things that board of directors will do and can do or not do. I'll turn that over to Melissa.
So, we did reach out to see if PTAD would offer some free, training, and they don't do that. So, it was recommended, it's a law firm out of Round Rock, Texas. It's MVBA Law Firm of Prairie, Veselka, Bragg, and Allen. They have a couple of attorneys that actually do training for boards of directors throughout the state of Texas. The cost for that is $2,000 for 3 hours, but that's just for one attorney. Currently, they're available for our February meeting or our March meeting. And so we just wanted to get a little bit of feedback to see February, March, if y'all had one month's preference over the other.
I have a question. When is the TED conference?
That's in February.
Okay.
February.
Do we know when?
What's that?
The TED conference?
In February?
Yeah, because that would probably dictate when that February meeting is.
Okay, and then I know in March,
I think it's in mid-February.
Yeah, it's usually in the middle,
TAD.
yeah.
I think it's the 18th or 19th of February. I think that's when the TAD conference is. The one you're
Yeah,
making reference to?
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's when it is.
When's the I know it's kind of not on there, but do we know when registration is for that? 'Cause we probably need to get going.
It's already started.
Yeah, we need to get going.
February, it's February 16th to the 19th.
Yeah, we probably need to get going on that, because if we want to get in the hotel, it may already be full anyway.
Mhm.
They're full already. The first hour.
Yeah,
They're booked, right? I mean, that's the way it works.
yeah.
So
But
that
we
would
need
be
to
the 12th.
probably plan on, where is it at?
It's in, Austin.
Okay.
Is that $2,000 for remote training?
no, they would actually come down.
Do
It
we
would
have
be
to
in
pay
person.
in addition to the 2,000?
No, that's for
That
the
covers
travel.
everything?
That's it.
That's
Okay.
for everything for the 3 hours. And so, you know, we've, their speakers at, I know they've been
They're
to
TAD,
TAD before.
they're good speakers.
Yeah, so, we can get back to them on a, you know, meeting date and get that scheduled. As far as the industrial appraiser training, that I know that Susie had mentioned on that, we're still working on it. So we just wanted to provide an update, to you guys on that.
can I just specifically, like, I know the first training that you mentioned sounded a lot more general, right? What I was asking for is, I don't know that a trainer would really help with my questions. It was more, not general training, but more understanding of this process that we just went through, which was several years, to understand how it all played out, you know, with the industrial district and all that. Because there's steps and processes, and I know, like even Devin, I know, he said, I've been on here for years, and this is so complex. So what I was asking for was not a general training, but,
I know.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't think
like-
we would have to hire someone for that, is why I'm saying this. This would be more of a, you know, if you or Kevin or maybe we're gonna hire Jerry. Just because, I know it's in the past, I get that, but, it was just such a big thing. And,
Maybe we can talk after the
Mhm.
meeting to kind
Yeah.
of narrow it down.
because if we can't
exactly
do
what
that,
you're
I
needing.
get it,
Yeah,
but-
no, we'll work
but
with you,
it
just
wasn't
need to figure out
general.
what
It was
exactly.
specific to Nueces County, what happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, that's a good
Gotcha.
idea,
Okay.
Susan.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, we can talk after the meeting.
okay,
We'll get with you. So that's the update that we have on the
thank you.
training.
Anything else, Susie? No, and I guess today we're here to also present a plaque SIA and other board of directors have done for the appraisal district. It allows us to expand, it allows us to grow, which is basically the same thing, but at the same time though, my job is to make sure that we keep you out of the media on the negative part, but we also make sure that all our Ts are crossed and all our Is are dotted, especially when it comes to some of the things that Susie was referring to as far as industrial is concerned. But the stewardship that comes from the chairman has a lot to do with where we are today, and we really appreciate that. I look forward to working with the new board of directors coming in January of '25, and then we can go from there. But Jerry, honestly, I really appreciate all the work that you have done for us. Staff here is very appreciative of the years that you've been here. And for that, I can only tell you that in appreciation of dedicated service with the Nueces County Appraisal District, Board of Directors, 2012 through 24. It's a little blank. It doesn't, mean a lot, but from us, from our hearts to you, we appreciate all the things you've done for us.
Where's the money? Thank you very much, Ronnie. Thank you. I would just like to thank, seriously, Ronnie, Letty, all the way from Molly, Grant, everyone that was here, our new board. Thank you for your patience and your guidance. You've been super to work with, our attorneys, especially management staff and staff. You all have been nothing short of magnificent, and I truly appreciate your efforts. Thank you very much. Okay, Ronnie, suggested items for the next regular meeting.
Anything?
Anybody? Suggested items for next month?
Yeah, just maybe that agenda item. Better.
Right. Let us know, also to let us know if any of y'all want to attend the conference that's coming up in February, so we can make the arrangements for that as well.
And I can tell you, going to those conferences, it really is worth taking a couple of days off, because you learn copious amounts of information, and it's wonderful. There's a lot of things that get shared with you, and ideas are freely exchanged. So if you can make it, please try to make it.
And they have topics relative to board of directors specifically, and topics relative to the staff here, so they do a really, really good job with that conference. I served on their board of directors for about 6 years for TAAD, so
And
it's...
on that point that Kevin just made, Susie, there is a general meeting for the board of directors at these conferences, and they sort of give you, I think this is, instead of us spending $2,000, this gives us the same information for nothing. because those guys are there explaining these items to you all, if you all have those questions. And maybe it would be more prudent for us to do that. And other than that, anything else?
What's the deadline to sign up for that?
Yeah, you sign up with the guy at the corner, Ed? No, you sign up with Ronnie and and they'll give you all the information.
Just give us an email or a call
Okay,
as soon as you can,
okay,
because the rooms, like
The room
Kevin
will get
says,
full quickly.
yeah, they do.
okay.
Because normally what happens after the conference is over with, they're already making arrangements for the following year. That's why we have limited access to those rooms. Okay?
Very good, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anything else, folks? I'll now accept a motion to adjourn.
Bye.
Gabby?
I make that motion. Is there a second?
Okay. Second.
John cut, oh, Gabby, did you make that motion?
Yes.
Gabby makes a motion,
Gabby.
okay. And I'll second it. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote aye. God bless you all. Thank you.